Hey guys, Grassman here. Today we're playing more Raid Shadow Legends. I haven't played this in a while. I've mainly just been doing a minor gun builder and whatever on the computer. But I did just recently build another guy, and I figure I should show him because he's really helping me. Well, he's somewhat helping me right now, and he's going to really help me later on. So, this is how to better farm your campaign. I've been using Sylva the Drakes for quite a while because of her AoE A2, and just her fast speed, overall good stats because of what armor I have on her. But she's certainly not the best because her A2 does take 3 turns of cooldown, and her speed's only like 150, not even. But so I built Fellhound, who has Ravage, which attacks all enemies on the A1, an AoE A1. That's what you're looking for. My other option was use Basilisk, which I think he's down here somewhere for me. Here he is. He's got Whirling Axe, attack all enemies, and it's on the A1. So I could have used him. Could have built him. Don't know how much better it would have been. I think either one works. But Fellhound does help with some other things too. He puts on multiple buffs here, which helps with my Seer. And he's got the defense and faction crypts by 19%, which also does help for that faction. Somewhat. I do have the Duchess, which is probably a better aura anyway. But could help. So, for my Fellhound, I certainly don't have him completely built. If you look at my things, my banner right now is only doing like a couple attack percent. So what I want is attack main stat, and then attack percent as a substat. So this is okay, because it's adding 12% attack, but I'd prefer an attack main stat, and then also the attack percent. This thing, whatever it's called, Amulet, also isn't completely built. You can go up to 33% on level 16. Does the sound? It is the lowest. So it can go higher yet. And with a level 6, I believe we can go up to plus 40%. My gauntlets are only crit rate, and the ring, I believe, is attack. No, the ring's has attack percent as the substat. So I haven't got another ring yet, which has attack as the main stat, and a good attack percent substat. Was I supposed to put this one on already? This one would increase attack in exchange for those. I think I was supposed to put this one on this guy, I just forgot to. Let me get this to 12. So this thing can't get more attack percent, but I could enchant it up for another 2%. But this can increase the attack a little bit anyway. There we go. Oh, I guess I don't have another attack percent glyph. Oh well. This is already better though, by 95. There we go. And attack is mainly, when you're building the attack guys, all you really care about is attack. Oh, I remember why I have that. No, that's a new ring. That was already a level 8 ring, so it can't be a new one. I did just, like, overnight farm a whole bunch of stuff, so I might have some better things. This is potentially a better... No, I guess not. It still only goes up to 33%, unless I get attack percent on this amulet. So, really what you're aiming for is full crit rate, which you can see on mine, my crit rate's 98%, which is probably close enough. It could be a little higher. I do only have attack percent, though. I could put on a fatal set, and that'll give the extra crit rate I need. But what you really want is full crit rate, as high attack as possible, and as high crit damage as possible. So my crit damage is only, 114%? So that can certainly go higher, and again, I could upgrade my amulet more. Another thing is if I get better substats, I don't farm a lot of attack here. So this is just the best stuff I had on hand. So I've got attack and high attack percent here, and then I've got 10% crit damage. Here I've just got normal attack percent. The bonuses went to accuracy and crit damage, which crit damage, again, good, but accuracy is not necessary unless you're using him in other places. Because he does have the decreased speed on his A1. Here I got crit rate, but here it's a shield, so obviously the main stat can't do anything. But I also don't have attack percent or crit damage. Once I get to 16, it could get one of those skills. This one's doing crit rate, but again, its substat is only doing speed. It's got attack percent and attack as well, but not doing anything for crit damage. Slightly more crit rate on one of these pieces could also be helpful, just to make it, because you want to get it over 100. You don't want to not crit sometimes. And obviously in these pieces, you probably want all attack percent. I've got attack percent on my boots and chest plate. I only have I have crit rate here. Sometimes, later in the game, once you can get enough crit rate naturally off all your gear, you can just make these gauntlets crit damage, and it adds an extra, like, 60% crit damage. Which is worth it. Later game, because it's a lot of extra damage, and you're getting the crit rate anyway. Off these ones, again, the 2 bonus things went to speed, and attack percent and attack are those ones. I don't have anything to replace it with. Like, my next best offense things, I don't think I have another crit rate. I don't at the moment, no. Again, I was doing the farming mainly for attack gear, but I haven't found anything new or better. Well, maybe I have. So the next thing is, so the chest plate, again, attack percent. It's got crit damage and crit rate, but no attack. It has the accuracy and defense, which aren't necessary. Again, unless you're using it somewhere else. I am also using this guy's spider right now, so having a little bit of health and defense is also good. But you can see that did just, like, naturally go up. Defense is almost 2,000. His HP is 2,500, which is quite low, but if you have something like Duchess to protect him, it's not too bad. So, yeah, I don't think neither of these pieces are worth it. They don't have the crit rate and crit damage. And then finally the boot. Attack percent and crit rate. The boot I can certainly do better with. I haven't got a better boot either yet. I need something with attack percent as the main stat, and then hopefully I can get attack number and crit rate and crit damage as the substats. But as you can see, mine's certainly not built well enough. He's built to have he has about 2,400. He's slightly less than 34. He has slightly less than 3,400 attack. His crit damage is just over 100, and crit rate isn't quite 100. So he's certainly built quite weak. I've just got him in 3 offense sets. I don't know how much more worth it is to put him into Savage, which will ignore part of the defense. And for Masteries, I've only got a couple of the attack ones so far. So, as far as I can tell, the defense and support literally will contribute nothing to attack effectiveness ever, without, like, Retribution. Because then it has a chance to counterattack. But there's very few things on the right two that actually do anything, on the right and the middle ones. So I ran him, so I could have gone attack, but I went crit rate instead, because my crit rate was slightly short. It was only 93 before I got that. Keen Strike added 10% crit damage, which is certainly worth it. Heart of Glory increases damage inflicted by 5% when attacking with full HP. This helps because when you're campaign farming, you're expecting to go in, go first, and one-shot them all. So this does help because you should be at full health. Whirlwind of Death increases speed by 6 for each enemy killed. This helps up to 18. This doesn't really help in the campaign unless you're faster than the first wave and then slower than the rest of the waves. Which, with proper optimization, I mean, could be something you want to do. If you want to, like, only have to get at the speed to the point where you want it, and then everything else, all the upgrades and stuff, are able to go into attack and crit damage. But it also helps for them something like Spider, where I am using them. And then there's Ruthless Ambush, which increases damage inflicted by 8% for the first hit on each enemy. And again, because campaign farming, you're expecting him to only take one shot on each enemy, and again, for Spider, they're each new spiders, so again, increases damage. The next one, there aren't too many other good ones. Bring It Down will increase it with higher max HP, but in campaign farming, they won't really have that unless you build your guy with a really low max HP. For each dead ally, could be kind of helpful, but you're expecting to go and kill them, so your allies won't actually die in the campaign farming. That could help again with something like Spire, though. Violence also doesn't really help, neither does Opportunist. So, none of these tiers actually help on campaign farming that much. And I think none of the other ones actually also help either. Methodical won't help with the first wave, but it will help with the other waves, but only by a tiny bit. Most of these ones seem to be like Methodical could be good for, like, against Spider or something. But for campaign farming, these ones seem like the main interest. And for consistency, because it's only about the consistency. It doesn't matter about getting a 1 in 4 chance of something. You want the consistency to be able to properly kill them. Otherwise, it leaves a chance for them to be alive, and that's improper, and that would be slowing it down. So for campaign farming, Flawless Execution with the 20% crit damage is probably the best one to go with. Because the other one is 30% chance, 60% chance, and 50% chance. So Flawless Execution is the only consistent one. Other than that, there seems like nothing else matters. There might be a couple of these ones. Blood Shield, again... Blood Shield could be helpful again in, like... Especially since you might not have a lot of health if you're using him for Spider or something. Same with, like, Kill Streak or Methodical. But for just purely campaign farming, these ones... Single Out... again, not important. Yeah, so these are the main ones. These are the ones that are important. Or maybe Blade Disciple instead of Deadly Precision. And those and that other one I mentioned, the crit damage, are the only ones that really matter for Masteries with him. Assuming, again, only campaign, which is what we're mainly building him for. So I'll show you him right away in the actual campaign. He can certainly be built better. As you see, like, these are, like, weaker artifacts. I could get this to 6-star, which will increase his attack. I can get this to Legendary. I can get them both to Legendary, which will increase the amount of, like, extra things I get to get attack percent. Here I could get... Well, here it's already 2 attack and 1 crit damage. I could just get luckier with my rolls. Here I got the 2 accuracy, which isn't really necessary. Again, I do use them for Spider, so it's somewhat helpful, but for just purely campaign, it's not helpful. Here I can get to, again, higher rank, max the level, and legendary. Same with the gauntlets. Also, you could get crit damage on the gauntlets, which will make a big difference. Getting the extra 60% crit damage is probably enough to, like... Because for me, I'm doing about, like, more than half their health at this moment. It's not quite enough. But getting this to crit damage by getting crit rate and the other things would add probably enough with something else to be able to one-shot them. Again, 6 can be 6-star, can be 6-star. These things I can max up. This thing I can get to attack. So he's certainly not perfect. He's got a long way to go, and that makes sense. My account's not, like, amazingly strong. Like, Scylla the Drake is probably my strongest person, and even she's only using, like, partially maxed gear. And a lot of that was a bunch of free stuff from the campaign. Or from the, daily login stuff. So if I go campaign, put it to brutal, and we go to our farming stage. I'm gonna go stage 6. Have him in first. This was the other guy I was farming with, I think. No, it wasn't. Where's the other 4-star? Here he is. I put him in the pit for a moment. So I'll put it on manual, and I'll show you how good he is. So automatically, he will never use his other 2 skills. He will just use the AoE A1 because the AI is smart enough to know that's good. So you can see his health is already quite low. It's only like 25,000. AoE A1 killed one of them. Almost killed the other 3. So again, just slightly increasing the attack, which is all I have to do. Like, if I got better boots for that extra 10% attack, that very well could allow him to one-shot all these guys. So it's dealing 10,000, 15,000 sometimes. So here you can see 10, 15, 13, 13. And it is just barely not killing the dogs. It's more consistently not killing the Kymar. If you watch the damage, Kymar got 12,000 while the other one's got 12 and 15. Kymar also has more health naturally. So fighting the Prince Kymars on these stages does create a little bit more problem. So I would have to, like, double how much damage I'm doing. There is also the problem of I occasionally lose. So I can put it in auto now. Turn off the volume for a sec. I do very rarely lose. If he doesn't there's something about, like, if all 4 of them live in one part, the enemies take an extra turn. It's the second one. Not sure exactly which one it is. It's something like, if I don't kill one of them, the Prince Kymar will use a different skill, which allows them to take an extra turn. And then he sometimes that could do enough damage that he could get killed in the second half, or in this third wave. But usually at this point he will win, because he 2-shots pretty much everything. He does also occasionally do something like that, and Kymar gets left alive, and the bomb will explode. It's that Kymar surviving, plus whatever happens in the second wave, can sometimes lead to a loss of my weaker one. Of course, my guy is weaker right now, so usually, once you have him built, he'll go through, he'll be able to do 20,000 or something. Because here, 20,000 on all these guys would have killed him. So, it's just that mine's particularly weak, but this is one of the better guys because of how fast his attack is and how much damage he can do. With the exception of something like Queen Ava. I think Queen Ava has an AoE A1, but there are a couple other champions that have AoE A1s, and they're the ones that are used, or certain, like, AoE skills that do a lot of damage and then get reset if you kill a guy. I think that's what it is there, Seals of Magic. So here I could lose this. Not quite, but almost. So, again, once you build a stronger one, and I will build my stronger one eventually, I just need to keep getting stuff, specifically the attack percent boot that's better, or put on a fatal set. That would give me the guaranteed crit rate, so I'm not having that 2% chance of losing, which is a 1 in 50. And the other thing would be... So yeah, I just need to get the attack on the boot up, and I can pretty much nuke the first wave, and everything that's not those Kymars. The other thing would potentially be putting Savage on instead of the 2 attack percents. That would drop my attack by 30%, which is a considerable amount. Of course, once I get the banner on, it kind of makes... The attack banner on it kind of makes up for that. So, better gear, and possibly Savage. I don't know how much better Savage is going to be doing, but seeing as Kymar is taking less damage, and he doesn't have that much more health, ignoring the Savage to ignore defense might be good for certain guys, like Kymar. I'm also not sure how good it would be against, like, Spiderlings, because, again, I am using him for Spider right now. I'm not sure if it was Spider I was grinding. It was Ice Golem. One of these days, though, I'd like left my phone on overnight grinding Spider, and I got some pretty good accessories from that. So he is good in mainly campaign farming, but also a range of other things. When you get him doing lots of damage, as long as he can survive a hit, or you have a reviver on your team. Because for Spider, I have Syl of the Drakes and Duchess. So I have the Duchess can keep him alive, Syl of the Drakes heals, and they both revive. So even though he's weak, he's able to survive on a team like that. And he does do a lot of damage. You can just see right now, like, I don't have any like special gear. This is just the best of what I had, and I was able to make him doing 12,000 damage a hit. And again, the main obvious things that are the most important is having guaranteed crit rate and as high crit damage as possible. On better accounts, like, you could probably see one of these guys with 300% crit rate. Or crit damage, I mean. Full crit rate, maybe like 4,000 attack, and like 300% crit damage. And that's like the optimal guy, because he'll guaranteed crit, he's doing the 4,000 damage times 4-ish. And then there's potentially like one mastery that's somewhere makes it slightly better. But it's really only these like 5 that make a difference. So that's my Fellhound. Again, I probably could have just built my Basilisk, who I already have like somewhat built. I think if I compare them though, the Basilisk doesn't stack up, at least not at the moment, which of course he doesn't. Where is he? I've done recent. By rank. And there he is. So I think right now my Basilisk is just, like, obviously weak. He's only level 40. I did put him in sleep gear, though, which, again, wouldn't be good for campaign farming, but I do use him in a couple places, I think. I think I used to use him in Spider. So you can see he only did 2,000 there, but I obviously don't have him built. So, Basilisk, Queen Ava, anyone with an AoE A1 pretty much is another good option for if you're trying to build your own one. But Fellhound's a particularly easy one, because, like, Basilisk is epic. So Basilisk is one of, like, the main 3 epics. Like, the main 3 fact colors. You know, I think he's a force one. You can see the red there. So he's a force epic, and Fellhound is a void rare. So Fellhound is harder to come across. Or, it depends. One's an epic, one's a void rare. There's less void rares than there are epics, so maybe he's easier to come across, but of course you have to open a void shard. But really, any AoE A1 guy can kind of be built in that similar way, where he's doing that strong nuke. So, yeah. I don't know I don't know how to finish this. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's how you do better campaign farming. Find someone with an AoE A1, build them with high crit damage. So hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you enjoy my content, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.